I'm Marilee Caruso. It's Thursday, November 6th. Today.
I think you're really going to be impressed when you see the facility.
Now that a law is passed, when will a new drug detention facility be up and running? Also today, building incentives.
This will help create the homes Manitobans need and deserve.
The tax breaks built to encourage more rental housing. Plus, best route forward.
It's scary. I'm a cyclist myself, and you're kind of fighting with a lane, like with cars for a lane.
The city unveils a plan for a new bike lane at the scene of a fatal crash. Good afternoon. Thanks for joining us. Manitoba Premier Wab Kinew hopes to see a new drug detention facility up and running in the next 2 weeks. This after the government successfully passed a bill Wednesday allowing authorities to hold people high on meth and other drugs for up to 3 days. Kinew said the first phase of the facility, located at 190 Disraeli Freeway, will include 20 units. He hopes to have another 20 units open at the facility in early 2026. An existing facility for intoxicated individuals operated by Main Street Project on Martha Street will continue operating until December, when it will undergo renovations.
And the conditions of the existing facility where the police take somebody when they're acting up like this, it's pretty rough. The new facility is going to be more humane, more dignified, but most importantly, it's going to be somewhere where somebody who's causing problems on drugs can be taken so that they're not in the emergency room waiting room. They're not at the bus stop. They're not bugging you while you're trying to go to the grocery store.
Kinew said it has cost just shy of $5 million to get the drug detention facility up and running. CTV's Joseph Bernacki is following this story for you today. Watch for his full report on CTV News at 6. The city's Public Works Committee has given the thumbs up to a new 5-year parking and mobility strategy. The strategy would improve a framework for the city to manage curbside space, parking, and mobility services. Broadly, it aims to increase turnover in high-demand areas, possibly through rate changes in the future or adding paid parking outside of existing times. It also means paid parking could be coming to new areas of the city. The goal is to have at least 2 open spaces per block at any given time. It also aims to improve the parking experience, possibly through the creation of an app which would show available parking spots in real time. The strategy still needs to be approved by full council. Well, we now know where Manitoba Hydro intends to set up its first electric vehicle charging stations. The Crown utility says the first half-dozen chargers will be going up along Highway 6 between Winnipeg and Thompson. They'll be located in the areas of Lundar, St. Martin, Grand Rapids, Ponton, Waboden, and Thompson. Hydro says in nearly all cases, it's partnering with a local First Nation which will host the charging stations. It adds 5 of the 6 will be level 3 chargers, capable of fully charging 4 vehicles within 20 or 30 minutes. The stations are expected to be up and running by spring of 2027. The city is looking for feedback on a proposed temporary bike lane on Wellington Crescent. The city released this video on YouTube to show what the bike lane between Academy Road and Stradbrook Avenue would look like. The project aims to improve safety for pedestrians, cyclists, and drivers using the street. The city says it's looking to hear from residents on how the design might affect property owners, loading deliveries, accessibility, building access, as well as safety.
It's scary. I'm a cyclist myself, and you're kind of fighting with a lane, like with cars for a lane. You never know what's behind you. You never know when they're going to turn onto you or in front of you. So I think right now it's really good for cars, not so great for cyclists, and there's room for a lot of improvement for cyclists.
The proposal comes after a fatal hit and run in June 2024. A cyclist died, sparking an outcry from the Winnipeg cycling community to enhance safety measures. CTV's Jeff Keel will have more details on the proposal. Watch for his story on CTV News at 6. RCMP have laid charges after finding hundreds of thousands of dollars worth of cocaine hidden inside a television. Mounties made the discovery Monday at Thompson Airport. Inside a TV, officers found several tightly wrapped packages containing nearly half a kilogram of cocaine with an estimated street value of more than $222,000. The suspicious package was destined for Bunny Bonnie Bee Cree Nation, a fly-in community. Police arrested a 55-year-old woman from the community who's now charged with drug trafficking. The charge has not yet been tested in court. The Manitoba government is creating a tax credit to promote more rental housing construction.
We can't let what happened in Vancouver to housing prices and to rents happen here in Manitoba. And so in order for us to stay ahead, we have to keep building more rental units.
In Sage Creek today, Premier Wapkanu and Housing Minister Bernadette Smith announced a $176.5 million rental housing construction incentive. It's available to private and nonprofit housing developers. The tax credit totals $8,500 per new rental unit, with an additional $5,000 available for affordable units. It's hoped the incentive will result in more affordable rental units for families and seniors.
This program enables us to continue looking after Manitoba's seniors by providing them with access to top-tier multifamily housing, spaces designed with their dignity, comfort, and well-being in mind while keeping rents low.
Affordable units must meet rent thresholds set by the Manitoba Housing and Renewal Corporation. Projects must continue to qualify as rental housing for 10 years. New details tonight in the city's plan to turn more heritage buildings into residential housing. Centre Venture says its residential conversion grant pilot program will offer property owners up to $25,000 per unit, residential unit. To qualify, the projects must be downtown, listed as a heritage building, and create at least 5 new units. They must also have a minimum overall investment of $500,000 and maintain heritage conservation status. Applications are being accepted between now and January 7th. You can find out more by visiting centreventure.com. Now to the continuing fallout from Mark Carney's first budget. If it passes, aside from spending to stimulate the economy, there may be cuts to government agencies like Stats Canada, which is responsible for collecting, analyzing, and disseminating data. CTV's Abigail Beeman looks into what that may mean for Canadians.
It really worries me.
Munir Sheikh resigned as Canada's chief statistician over the Harper government's 2010 decision to kill the long-form census. Today, he's concerned about new Statistics Canada cuts in the budget, saying Canada already has substantial data gaps, which will now multiply.
Cuts at an organization like Statistics Canada is an indication that our country is getting poorer, and we can't afford to do the things that are an absolute necessity.
Deep in the budget annex, under department-specific cuts, it reads, the frequency of data collection will be reduced where the requirements can be met through statistical modeling or other modern methods. In addition, adjustments will be made to the frequency and level of detail collected for data sets which demonstrate less relevance to Canadians. CTV News asked Statistics Canada and the Finance Department a whole slew of questions. What type of data will be collected less often? What will be collected with fewer details? And who decides what has less relevance for Canadians? They didn't answer any of them. In a statement, a Department of Finance official said further details on savings under the Comprehensive Expenditure Review will be available through Statistics Canada in due course.
Lack of information always makes me nervous.
Biostatistician Erica Moody says the work of Statistics Canada is critical, from government to business to community groups to your personal life, and less of it is worrying.
Cuts to these data or data collection, the fineness of this data collection could impact things like transit lines in my neighborhood. On the other side, as a researcher, it also affects the work done by my students.
Oh, and from our archives, among those in support of Statistics Canada during the long-form census death fiasco, then Bank of Canada Governor Mark Carney.
We will need to evaluate the impact of any proposed changes.
The former head of Statistics Canada warns if the Canadian economy gets worse, even further and worse cuts to data are very possible. Abigail Beeman, CTV News, Ottawa.
All right, let's bring in Colleen Brady now and get a first look on some snow Still headed our way, Colleen?
It's here, at least not in Winnipeg just yet, but not too far away. It is in other areas. Look at this satellite radar. It took its time getting to Winnipeg, that rain, but it has moved into the city. It's raining in downtown, just outside of our studios. I'll zoom in on the city. Now, at some point over the course of the next few hours, once it cools down enough, we're going to see that flip over from rain to snow, as we're already seeing in other parts of the province. It's been snowing throughout the day in other parts of southwestern Manitoba. I'll have more on that when it gets out of the way and what's coming in behind it, or more importantly, what we're going to feel once this gets out of the way. Let's take a look right now, though, first through the Bathfitter Live Eye. Bathfitter, your bath and shower experts for more than 40 years. With the rain falling over the city now, it is 3 degrees. Winds out of the east-northeast at 16 kilometers an hour. The pressure's dropping and the humidity is 86%. Out in traffic, looking westbound down Portage Avenue. Now, there was a collision. Portage at Home Street, it has just been cleared, but there is still one vehicle at last report in the curb lane westbound, and it looks like traffic is still a little backed up through that stretch.
Thanks, Colleen. Michael Jackson's unparalleled artistry is coming to Winnipeg in an award-winning musical. We're going to take you behind the scenes. Plus,
something that changed me into making my own path.
Life-changing stories, how one charity is getting students interested in post-secondary education. We have earnings reports from several big Canadian companies today, including Canadian Tire. Here's Marilla Fernandez with the Market Watch.
The retailer reported lower profit in its third quarter. Canadian Tire blames restructuring and other costs for the drop. The company's renovating stores and reorganizing its business, but sales are up at 2 other retail businesses it owns, Sport Chek and Mark's. Here are the closing numbers for the day. The Canadian dollar is down a fraction to 70.84. West Texas Intermediate crude is down slightly to 59.43. Western Canadian Select also down over $1 to 48.07. And the TSX dropped another 234 points today to move back under 30,000. Those are your business headlines. I'm Marilla Fernandez.
Market Watch is brought to you by Manitoba Blue Cross. Group health plans for any size business.
You may have already spotted them around downtown. The new garbage bins the city announced it would install in August are now being put in place. More than 100 black metal bins, just like these, are going up on Main Street and Portage Avenue. They're designed to better contain litter and prevent garbage from spilling onto the street. The bins lock so you can toss trash inside, but you can't take anything out. All of the bins are expected to be installed by November 14th, and if they prove effective, the city says it may install more. An upcoming gala is celebrating a local charitable organization's success stories. Can You, founded in 2010, is a mentorship and educational program for grade 5 to 12 students. The program brings students to a post-secondary campus and provides them with mentors and educational enrichment.
Underneath of it all, though, is something called psychological capital. So we want to encourage kids to realize that they have a good future ahead of them, that they can have confidence in whatever they do, and that they have a sense of belonging.
The Can You Stories Imagine Gala kicks off next Thursday at the Canadian Museum for Human Rights.
Community Connection is brought to you by Mr. Reuter Plumbing. Born to be a hero, trained to be a plumber.
If you live in South Winnipeg, you won't have to travel very far to catch the next performance of the Winnipeg Symphony Orchestra. We'll explain next in the Spotlight.
Spotlight, sponsored by the Casinos of Winnipeg, presenting Absolute Britney, a tribute to Britney Spears.
Colleen Brady is back now for Spotlight, and a musical about one of the greatest entertainers of all time is set to moonwalk into the Centennial Concert Hall. I gave you a hint there.
Yeah, wink, wink. It's called MJ the Musical, and it features Michael Jackson's unique and unparalleled artistry. And today we got a sneak peek behind the curtain.
Of course. Need I say anything? The iconic Thriller jacket.
Colleen, I had one of those.
Oh,
and
yeah.
the glove, and the glove, too.
Yes, that stuff all looks pretty familiar, doesn't it? Well, we got to speak to the cast and look at the dazzling costumes featured in the musical, which centers around the making of the 1992 Dangerous World Tour. Jordan Marcus plays MJ. He says the show offers a rare look at the creative mind and collaborative spirit that made Michael Jackson a legend.
More of a man behind the music that they all know and love, you know? I mean, I think this show does a great job of balancing the prolific superstar that we all, you know, of course, know and love, but gives us sort of a humanization of this figure that is otherwise untouchable for a lot of us.
MJ the Musical is running now until November 9th. Tickets are on sale at centennialconcerthall.com.
I'm sure it's great. All right, you will soon be able to hear the Winnipeg Symphony Orchestra at a new venue.
That's right. The WSO is coming to South Winnipeg. The orchestra will have its first ever solo performance in the Des Hotels Concert Hall at the University of Manitoba. Performances will include Beethoven's Symphony No. 1 and a composition based on Spanish folk melodies.
And it's a wonderful opportunity to bring the orchestra to a different part of the town with a very diverse and very exciting program.
The WSO performs in the new venue this Friday and Saturday starting at 7:30 p.m. You can get tickets through the WSO's website.
A Manitoba author has received a national award.
Kyle Edwards won the prestigious Governor General's Literary Award today.
But I think more generally it's a coming-of-age story.
The Anishinaabe writer's novel called Small Ceremonies won in the fiction category. It follows the hopes and struggles of a high school hockey team from Winnipeg's North End. Edwards' novel is among 14 books that won this year. The win comes with a $25,000 prize.
Well, congratulations.
Indeed. Well done.
Thanks, Colleen.
You're welcome. Your primetime lineup heats up. Hell's Kitchen at 7. 911 Nashville is on at 8. And at 9, it's Grey's Anatomy. And catch Georgie and Mandy's First Marriage at 10. It's all right here tonight on CTV. A live look. The rain is coming down at Taché there in Provencher. A new collision to let you know about. Grant at Shaftesbury. Northbound and southbound median lanes are blocked. So is the eastbound curb lane. Again, Grant at Shaftesbury. And drive to conditions out there. It's raining right now. I'll show you when it could flip over to snow coming up.
Women's clothing provided by RW & Company. Salon services provided by S&T Spa Salon.
CTV Skywatch weather brought to you by South Beach Casino and Resort. Visit southbeachcasino.ca.
Well, not only have we been treated to the supermoon this week, also the northern lights. Now take a close look. In just a moment, we'll see something fly. There it is right there. Looks like maybe a meteor. So all kinds of celestial wonderful things happening in the sky over the last couple of nights. Not just the snow that's falling down now, but it's been a beautiful look up at the skies here in southern Manitoba over the last couple of nights. And the northern lights are going to remain pretty active. Having said that, we've got to look through all of this first, don't we? Rain finally made its way to Winnipeg late this afternoon, but not too far off. We see some snow to the north of the city. Further east in northwestern Ontario, mixing precipitation there. You can see it looks like maybe a little bit of freezing rain just south of Kenora, but to the south, rain. To the north of there, it looks like it's flipped over to some snow. But here's a broader look. I'll step back and show you. There's still more to come in yet tonight from Saskatchewan, snowing around Yorkton there, but not just Saskatchewan. All that snow coming in behind. Well, at least some of it will make its way into Manitoba in the coming hours. But as the temperature cools, that rain will start to flip over to wet snow or snow for a few hours. Meanwhile, the northern half of the province not affected in terms of the precipitation. Cooler up there, though. A stalled cold front bringing much cooler temperatures. Everyone stayed below freezing today in the north. That will continue certainly overnight as temperatures continue to drop, as they will here. Not just the temperatures, the snow, the system, it slumps to the south. But coming in behind it, there'll be another system developing out of Alberta. It won't affect us so much in terms of precipitation, but it may trigger, it depends where you are, put it that way, some lake effect flurries coming off the lake. So for the rest of us, though, throughout the day, tomorrow, lots of sunshine. This is what I mean. There's that second system. If you are in the southwest corner, you might get just nicked on the edge advantage of it, but not much for the rest of us. Then we get into the weekend and we'll see more sunshine, but the temperatures a little on the cool side for a couple of days before they do start to warm up again as we get into next week. For tonight, we drop down to -4. It's raining now as the temperature starts to cool and it's getting darker out there. We'll start to see that rain flip over to snow or wet snow, so be careful if you have any driving out there tonight. Winds out of the northeast at 20 gusting to 40 at their strongest. Strong north winds until at least mid-morning, then they back off considerably. -3 though is our high, a mix of sun and cloud throughout the afternoon. Then we get into the weekend, -4 on Saturday, so still sub-zero. A lot of S words there, including sun and cloud expected on Sunday. There's another one up to -1, +1 on Monday, cloudy, up to 6 degrees on Tuesday. That looks pretty good. 3 degrees on Wednesday. Let's take a look at our first weather photo. This is a look at that beautiful moon rising over Selkirk. That photo is from Helen. And of course, the Aurora Borealis. This was out over Deerwood, Manitoba. That photo is from Jeanette. Email us yours to winnipegweather@ctv.ca.
The CTV Skywatch Pick of the Day is brought to you by the Manitoba Chiropractors Association. We've got your back.
An exhibit exploring the people of Transcona and their connection to war opened today. Stories of remembrance from hometown to the front lines opened in Center Court of Kildonan Place. It displays 18 first-hand experiences from Transcona residents during the First and Second World War. The exhibit, organized by the Transcona Museum, also features the names and photographs of the men and women who served.
It truly shows us how much World War I, World War II, Korea affected everybody. Everyone has a connection, has a story to it, whether it is a direct relative who enlisted or something done on the home front, but everyone has a story that they can add.
The Transcona Museum Kildonan Place display started in the early 2000s. The exhibit launched with an opening ceremony alongside Transcona Legion, a choir, and dignitaries. It will remain on display until Remembrance Day. Lots of time to check it out.
Yeah, it's lovely too, but make sure you're safe out there on the streets.
Yeah,
and the rain
not
and the snow
so
tonight.
lovely outside tonight, unfortunately, but
this will pass.
Yes.
This too shall pass.
Let's hope quickly.
Well, Clippers, hopefully, yeah, they do zip along. So.
All right, Colleen, we'll update you on that snow.
Yeah.
Next hour. We'll see you back here at 6.